Good morning on this Tuesday, March 4th. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett here on News 6 Plus. Click Orlando.com and our YouTube channel. I'm Bridgett Ellison. Good to be with you this morning. We're waking up to a really nice day. Looking forward to getting that forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Some updates from Trooper Steve on our roads this morning, which had a few nasty crashes. We'll also check your top headlines. So first, we'll swing it on over to the Pinpoint Weather Center and Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos getting us ready for a bit of a downhill roller coaster, but a nice day today.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to go up a little bit today and tomorrow. We'll be back into those 80s. We have some rain to contend with, and then we'll start seeing that quick little dip in temperatures on Thursday. But with that being said, that line that we're going to be tracking that will be bringing some rain and storms could have the potential, well, a low potential, but still something to mention and to talk about as we head into your Wednesday afternoon for strong to severe weather. So let's take it to the maps. Happy Mardi Gras, everyone. It is Fat Tuesday. It's going to be nice and dry for us here. If you're celebrating Mardi Gras, maybe at Universal, the weather's going to be fantastic. It's going to be nice. It's going to be mild. Unfortunately, we can't say the same for areas in New Orleans and Louisiana, where they're going to be dealing with some very strong severe storms, a higher threat than what we're going to experience tomorrow. So as you look here for Wednesday, rain and storms. With that could come gusty winds, some lightning strikes. No real concern of tornadic activity. Hail risk looks low, but there is certainly kind of a strong weather element that we will have to contend with for tomorrow. Then once that front clears, temperatures will be dipping back into the 60s. So this is the system that we are tracking. There is a big line right now moving through areas of central Texas, approaching Louisiana this morning. But I put a little icon there. We do have Fat Tuesday, all the celebrations and parades going on there. Unfortunately, weather will be playing a big role in all those plans. And of course, across most of the Deep South under that enhanced risk for strong to severe weather. That's for today. Locally here, that severe weather risk is going to be shifting further towards the east along that cold front. So this is going to be more of a Wednesday play for us locally here. The area highlighted in yellow, it's still primarily north of our viewing area, but it still includes just the northern fringe of Flagler County and Marion County under a level 2. That's a slight risk, meaning that there will be a slightly higher chance for a strong to severe thunderstorm. The rest of Central Florida under a level 1, very isolated in nature, gusty winds, lightning, that will be the main players in the forecast. Again, this will come Wednesday. Lightning, wind, hail, those are going to be the higher threats. Flooding, tornadic activity, all that still stays on the lower end of things. So let's time out the forecast for tomorrow. We're really focusing on tomorrow because today is going to be such a nice day. So clouds and rain showing early tomorrow morning. It's going to be warm. It's going to be humid, or winds coming in out of the south. We're going to start watching that line approach our northern zones, Marion, Flagler County, by about the lunchtime hour or so. Now, again, this does not mean it's going to be a washout of a day. It's just really along that main line that we'll see our highest threat for some rain. A little bit of those pop-up prefrontal pop-up showers can't be ruled out. Then by about 2 to about 4 o'clock, that line will approach more the I-4 corridor zone. And then we'll continue to see most of it clear out by about 6, 7 o'clock. The skies are expected to clear pretty quickly into the evening and overnight hours. Temperatures in the meantime will be cooling down into the 60s. So that's the big story for tomorrow. Today, the weather's looking great. It's a little warmer this morning. Our breeze is coming in off the ocean, and that's continuing to keep those temperatures in the upper 60s, closing in already at 70 there in Titusville. A touch cooler the further inland you go. Then our highs this afternoon running near just below average there along the coastline in the mid-70s, closing in on near 80 this afternoon. But then again, we are talking about temperatures staying in the 80s. We'll get into those low 80s on Wednesday. And then notice our temperatures by Thursday. Once that front clears, our temperatures are going to be looking very comfortable. For those who are hoping for another little taste of winter, Thursday is going to be your best shot for that, as we're going to be in those 60s. And as a result, here, the full 7-day forecast, because of the severe threat, we are designating tomorrow weather alert day. On Wednesday, it's not going to be a whole day of severe weather. We're talking about that line, and where that line falls is where that threat will be. Then as we head into Thursday, cooler. We'll be rebounding those temperatures pretty quickly after a nice chilly start on Friday in those 40s. And then spring forward as you go to bed Saturday night into early Sunday morning. probably just your microwave, your oven, things like that don't change on their own. You might have to change them, but everything else pretty much changes on its own. So happy Fat Tuesday, everybody. Just get ready for some dicey weather tomorrow.
All right. And you know what? What is that we say, Candace, about comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb? Or is that March or is that May or April? April showers bring May
That is
flowers.
March. Yeah, that is March.
It's
Comes
March.
in as a lamb, out like a what's the
Is
no,
it
you're putting me
lion
on the spot.
in like a lion, out like a lamb, I think.
Like a lion, out like a lamb. And that's certainly could be the case across the deep south for us, as we're going to start off March a little more active, especially across areas of Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi. We
All
look
right.
very Mardi Gras with us.
Oh, and we didn't plan it because you changed. You had a pink.
I did change. I was wearing a dress that I realized I shouldn't wear towards the end of winter because I haven't seen a lot of sunshine. So I changed it and it actually worked out because Mardi Gras
Yeah.
got those purple, greens, yellows. So it
So
was meant.
we need a king cake. We have to get a king cake maybe between now and
Yeah.
tomorrow. Is it too late to do it tomorrow? Don't know.
No, it's still like tomorrow. So you gotta cut the cake today.
Oh, so we have to get it together. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
after this, maybe we can.
Okay, maybe. Let me know if
Okay.
you find one.
I
I want
will.
a slice.
They're delicious. All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
Candace.
Okay.
And we'll check in with Trooper Steve. He is over there in the Pinpoint Weather Center. How are you this morning? How are things going?
I am physically here and working, and yes,
Yeah, I know.
it's the voice is still kicking my butt, but
Does
we
it
have a
sound
lot
worse than it
big.
feels?
Oh, 1,000 times worse than what it actually
Okay.
feels. I feel perfectly fine.
Okay.
It's just the voice is just doing whatever it
I
wants to
have
do. I
I
sound
have
like I
bone
smoke
broth
a
if
pack
you
of
want.
cigarettes a day. Oh,
I have an
that
extra
sounds.
cup. Come get it.
Well,
Extra cup.
I got a
All right.
cup of soup
Cheers.
that Crystal hooked me up with. Cheers. There
Did
you
you
go.
make it
Um,
yet? That was
I made some
yesterday.
yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that. So when she gave it to me, I was like, "Cool, thanks, Crystal." I took the whole bag, but there's a whole bunch in here, so I wanted to bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best part. She goes, "Steve, you can keep it. I don't like it."
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "All right, I'll hold on to it." But you are right. We are
Yeah.
watching a pretty nasty crash right
Mm-hmm.
now out in East Osceola County that has US 192 completely shut down, and this is a kind of a real trouble spot because of the fact that it leads out to the Harmony community and it goes all the way east to Brevard County. So eastbound lanes shut down because of a crash that's at Botanic. Now, Florida Highway Patrol put out a message that two vehicles involved, one of them unfortunately being a motorcyclist, and that motorcyclist is dead on scene. So the medical examiner is out there trying to clean this area up so we can reopen the roadway. But as of right now, all traffic not allowed to head towards Harmony. So your alternate, you're either taking Nova Road, top of the screen there, or Hickory Tree, the bottom. Either way, the alternate is massive. So please make sure you're just paying attention. Outside of that, pretty decent across the rest of Central Florida here and there. Our delays are routine. I-4 east and west of 434. You can see traffic moving pretty nice this morning. And then out on the west side, 429, pretty much up to speed till about maybe 5-10 minutes ago. Then we're seeing our routine delays right around the Florida Turnpike with those hot spots around Maitland, OBT, and things like that. Four Corners, you're looking good this morning with those delays, of course, out there by Champions Gate, but no major crashes. So today's stream, another unique one, Bridget.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be headed out to Orange County government. You guys covered this the other day, talking about Orange County's new mobile medical clinics. And I love the idea. I think so many people complain that our local governments don't do enough, but yet they don't do the research to know what the resources are out there. And Orange County government, they bring these mobile units around their areas, maybe to undeserved areas or underserved areas, or like think about natural disasters or high emergencies where maybe we need a mobile medical clinic. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
show you today what Orange County government's doing and show you maybe the ins and outs of this medical clinic. So we're going to do like a first person point of view
Mm-hmm.
with my live stream today at 10 a.m. at clickorlando.com, YouTube, and all that fun stuff.
Okay, looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I'm interested too. I like that stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, always, it's good to know that that's there for people who need it and that's a resource. So it'll be fun to highlight that. Thanks, Steve.
Yep. See you later.
See you then. Lots of top headlines to get to this morning. We had a lot of breaking news. You saw the breaking traffic news. Also this morning in Palm Bay, some breaking news with a house fire where this happened. 4 people had to go to the hospital. This is along Blue Lane Southeast in Palm Bay. The cause is such a concern that the state fire marshal is investigating. So far, police at the scene haven't really told us a lot. Our Mark Lehman has been out there all morning trying to get more details about this fire. And we're just told that they're still gathering evidence, but there was a large response off Blue Lane, a crime scene investigation there as several fire units came out to the neighborhood. And this was around midnight when they got that call. And again, Palm Bay police only telling us that 4 people did have to go to the hospital. So we're waiting to find out more, but we know there were severe burns and that the fire was coming from a back bedroom of the home there in Palm Bay. So look for more updates throughout the day on that fire in Palm Bay. Also, a breaking update on some other breaking news we had this morning in Daytona Beach, where we heard about a shooting there, a large police presence on Butler Boulevard off of Atlantic Avenue near Oak Ridge Boulevard. And it was initially dispatched as a shooting, and we have now learned that 1 person is dead and 1 is hurt. That is the latest on that story, but we'll let you know as soon as we get updates on that shooting in Daytona Beach. Tonight, many will turn their eyes to Washington as President Trump gives his first speech to a joint session of Congress since taking office a second time. On social media, he promised to, quote, tell it like it is. And CBS's Natalie Brand has the latest on many topics that are sure to be hot ones, including the economy, immigration, and Ukraine.
Weeks into a whirlwind second term in office, President Trump will address Congress and the country with the economy in focus. It comes on the day 25% tariffs went in effect overnight on the nation's 2 biggest trading partners, Canada and Mexico.
It's a very powerful weapon.
U.S. stocks slid sharply Monday, with economists warning that the price of everything from food to lumber to new cars could go up.
There is little doubt that consumers will feel the pain of this.
Yesterday, the president teased he'll also discuss Ukraine, days after his Oval Office clash with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
You don't have the cards.
CBS News has confirmed the White House has paused military aid to Ukraine, even as President Trump pushes for a peace deal with Russia and an economic agreement to mine Ukraine's earth minerals.
I think everybody has to get into a room, so to speak, and we have to make a deal.
President Trump's domestic agenda is expected to be front and center tonight, including stepped-up immigration enforcement and sweeping efforts to shrink the size of the federal government. White House officials say billionaire Elon Musk will be among the guests in the room amid growing anger over mass federal worker firings and cuts advocated through the Department of Government Efficiency.
When did Elon Musk get the power?
Several congressional Democrats say they're split over whether or not to attend. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin will deliver their party's formal response. Natalie Brand, CBS News.
Also starting today in Florida, the legislative session in the next 60 days will decide many laws here in the Sunshine State. They're set to get to work with a long list of bills this year, including one to drop the age to purchase a gun in the state from 21 back to 18 years of age. Another bill in the works banning fluoride across the state. We've already seen several cities take up that issue. And another one, condo complexes, their safety and affordability. Regulations that were passed after the Surfside collapse have in turn caused fees to really go up for some owners. So the exact fix remains clear.
You never know when a new idea that's better than the last idea is going to pop up. And what I would say to you is that we're searching for those ideas right now.
That fix remains unclear. Like he said, looking for ideas. The session kicking off this morning with Governor DeSantis' State of the State address. You can look for that here and on clickorlando.com, streaming live at 11 a.m. Also this morning, a follow-up about a traffic issue that came up in Winter Park. We were hearing some complaints about a speed hump some people said was damaging their vehicles, and our Angie Casado went out to check that out, and we learned that now the Department of Transportation's made some adjustments to that to hopefully reduce some of the complaints, and also urging people to slow down. Here's Angie.
This raised crosswalk designed to improve pedestrian safety was also giving drivers a rough ride.
We're just alarmed at the speed that drivers drive down here, and the and actually the lack of consideration for lane changing. There are lots of drivers that just, dice in and out and cut, and it's amazing.
We just heard a car right there.
Yeah, you heard a car right there. Exactly, and it's not good. I mean, they have to slow down. So I think it's a great thing. More of this is better.
But some drivers said it was too steep, even damaging vehicles. We reached out to the Department of Transportation last week, who said the crosswalk was built according to plans, but that they would keep monitoring it. But just days after our story aired, crews smoothed out the side of the crosswalk, causing issues for drivers leaving Winter Park and entering Orlando.
And also, this is a 30-mile-an-hour residential area. The sign's right over there, so you definitely want to slow down.
All right, so we'll see if that works and if everyone's pleased with that. I'm sure we'll hear more if it's still not working out, but a good follow-up there. And now to some big news from SpaceX, the company announcing plans to launch the mega Starship rocket from the Kennedy Space Center by the end of the year.
We plan to complete the Starship launch pad at Pad 39A this year.
Big news, and according to our news partners at Florida Today, the move-in operations would bring in 600 new full-time jobs to the Space Coast over the next 5 years and nearly $2 billion in capital investments. SpaceX still needs to pass the environmental reviews from the Space Force and the Federal Aviation Administration, and Governor DeSantis welcoming that news in his own comments about it. We'll be right back after this break with more breaking news and headlines. Take care. We're following some news about a gator attack. A woman was out kayaking or paddling when she was bitten on the arm, and people are still out in that waterway, but Sky 6 flew over that scene, and News 6's Troy Campbell has more from a gator expert about why you have to watch out for gators, especially this time of year.
What went through your mind when you found out someone was, in fact, bitten by an alligator here today?
Well, here's the thing, Troy. We never, ever want to see this happen, ever.
Speaking to us over Zoom after park hours, Gatorland's alligator expert Brandon Fisher says there is always a risk when around fresh water in Florida.
Can't do that if you're doing an outdoor activity. If you're out on a kayak, a canoe, a boat, swimming in a designated swim area, you just got to be aware of your surroundings and not approach these animals. They're apex predators, and they're going to defend themselves.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says it was called out to the Tiger Creek Preserve for a report of a woman who was bitten on the elbow by an alligator while paddling on Monday afternoon. Polk County Fire Rescue also arrived to the scene, and the victim was taken to the hospital. FWC says it then called in someone to capture the gator.
getting into breeding season, the males get very defensive of their territories and kind of push everything out of their territory. So they're going to defend it and chase away whatever.
Fisher says it's possible the paddle caught the gator off guard.
It'd be pretty crazy to just be attacked by one. If you're just rowing, typically they stay away from vessels, whether that be, a rowing vessel or an engine. And these animals can get spooked too if they're underwater. And the only way when they get spooked is they're going to defend themselves. It's fight or flight.
Always something to be aware of, especially if you really enjoy the outdoors. And of course, we're still waiting to find out exactly how she's doing. Again, she was bitten on the arm. We do know that, and she was taken to the hospital, but an update on her condition hasn't been provided yet. But of course, we'll keep you updated if we learn more. This morning, leaders in Kissimmee are set to decide if they should continue a service offering free on-demand rides to certain areas. Commissioners are expected to vote on renewing the contract with Freebie. It began in 2023 to help connect people to a Sunrail and key points in Kissimmee. The rides are free, but they cost taxpayers. So the city would pay $413,000 to renew a one-year contract if they choose to do so.
Amount of money that they're paying for such a short range, and services, I don't think so.
And so Kissimmee says that Freebie's grown in popularity and the service was expanded last year. The meeting that includes a vote on that starts tonight at 6, so we'll keep you updated. Now to a warning this morning about something that's so very popular. It is the synthetic hair used in braiding and different hairstyles. And a recent testing by Consumer Reports found that several of those products have dangerous chemicals, many of them commonly found in plastics as well. In today's Insider Report, my co-anchor and insider guy, Crystal Moyer, has more on the findings and what you should know to stay safe.
For many people, braided hairstyles are more than just fashion. They're a time-tested tradition that makes hair care easier.
I like to wear braids because it saves me time in the morning. They're convenient. You can just style it and just go.
Now, a new investigation by Consumer Reports is raising alarming questions about the safety of synthetic braiding hair. 10 popular synthetic braiding hair products were tested. The results are troubling. Every sample contained carcinogens, chemicals that may cause cancer.
3 of the samples tested positive for benzene, a carcinogen that is highly regulated and discouraged for use in laboratories because of the potential to cause cancer.
James Rogers, who led CR synthetic hair testing, says lead was found in 90% of the products.
There is no safe levels of lead. Our risk assessments and exposure models indicate that for users of these 9 products, they could be exposed to concerning levels of lead over time.
The risks don't stop there. When the hair is dipped in hot water during installation, as standard practice, it releases volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, that can irritate eyes, throat, and lungs. If you use synthetic braids or if you install them, experts recommend the following safety precautions to reduce risks. Check for product recalls, read labels carefully, and limit how long you wear the style.
Of course, if you'd like to read up more on that, it is on our website, clickorlando.com/insider, and you can always see that Consumer Reports update as well as many others that come out throughout the week. Also this morning, a warning about your hearing. If you or someone you love plays lots of video games, it is something that can over time really damage your hearing. And so doctors are issuing a warning about playing those games with the volume up too loud.
Over half of them are playing at levels that are too loud. And our hearing is something that we take for granted until we lose it.
And so one big part of the problem is the earbuds and headphones and headsets, because many times that is putting that sound so close to your hearing. And so they're saying that if you can keep that volume around 50% or less and take breaks every hour, that can help over time decrease the damage to your hearing.
This will help reduce the noise in the user's environment and really allow them to resist the urge to crank up the volume of the game to compensate for what's going on around them.
And last week, the World Health Organization actually called on video game makers to set safe listening standards in order to protect the hearing of users. A fun update this morning about Epic Universe. We still have a few months before they officially open, but already more news about expansion. And so in a promotional video that came out just yesterday, the head of Universal Orlando said that what we see isn't all we're going to get, and we can expect the already enormous new theme park to have more attractions.
There are already so many things in the works now. We have a slate of new attractions that were already in development for every one of our parks. We're already planning for the next thing at Epic.
Okay, there you go. We don't know exactly what will happen, but we'll have to wait and see once the park officially opens on May 22nd. So we're getting there. Also this morning, we want to remind you that we want to hear the stories about Oviedo. We know there are so many untold stories and many issues that you want covered, and we'd like to help you get results. So go to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad and let us know about the people, places, things, and issues happening in and around Oviedo that you'd like us to cover, and then we'll put those together for you, and we'll go live with our newscast at a location in Oviedo that we'll be announcing very soon. And that's going to do it for us. We'll see you again at noon. Have a great day.